everybody.
Hello.
Hi. Very exciting. Our first, shall we call it our official live?
Yes.
We're having a little bit of an interview going on here today with Harriet Gore. So I've been very curious about all your movements in the past few months because we've only met a couple of months ago. And Harriet has been really, really inspiring to me, even before I met her actually. Because I met her at Earl's Court Station, but in fact I had been seeing her posts for a very long time. So Harriet every day for I think about a month or so was writing some quotes on a board near Earl's Court Station, and every day I would take a picture and think, oh, this is really nice, and there was never a name underneath, so I always thought, wow, this must be someone who's writing it, or maybe it's just random quotes. And one lovely day, I actually saw her. I caught her in the act. And and it was so exciting to meet you, in fact, because it's almost like, you've been receiving inspiration from an unknown source every day, and then suddenly you meet the artist or the person who is doing it, and that's really, really lovely. And so this is how we first met. And after this, we started exchanging about a lot of different things. And your most recent exchange was actually about your Touch Love worldwide movement. And so Harriet is going to talk a little bit more about that today with us. And yeah, very excited to be here. Thank you so much for making time, Harriet, and for having me in your lovely space. By the way, if you ever come and meet Harriet, she's got the most beautiful house. Like already when you enter, you have all these beautiful quotes everywhere, even in her terrace upstairs, in her garden. And it just feels like you're coming into a completely new world. It's amazing.
Thank you very much. Yes. So, what do you want me to talk about?
Well, just tell us about you. What is it that you are passionate about? What do you love in the world? What is it that makes you vibe every day?
Love, writing about love, and creating new works every day gives me the most energy. So a day when I'm not creative is a day I say it's not a very good day.
Okay.
And I get inspirations from anything. Birds, trees, people, Facebook, anything. But yeah, simple. It's just love, trying to understand the world through the eyes of everything, every being, dogs, sea, river. Simple. That's what makes me.
Beautiful, amazing. And so your Touch Love movement has been around for a little bit. Can you tell us when it started to come into fruition for you as a representative?
Well, I started the movement on Facebook. I give it the date 18th October 2011 because that is the date that the song woke me up. I woke up singing the song, reach out and touch one Nigeria's heart, make Nigeria a better place for you and me. So I got up sweating, and this song was in me singing. And I about 3 a.m. I was singing it, and so the movement started as Touch Nigeria to start with, and then it expanded to Touch Love Worldwide, because the whole idea is that what happens in one part of the country, one part of the world, affects all of the world. So that is the whole principle of Touch Love Worldwide. And the thing the reason why I started from Nigeria is that one of my clients was being deported to Nigeria, and at 12 midnight he telephoned me from the plane. I had no, he phoned me, and the next thing I heard was that he couldn't speak. He was screaming, and I don't know what was happening, but it shook me because he was screaming and he was going, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. Nigeria is not my home. Here is my home. And he's a young man that was born in Nigeria. He came here when he was 9, and he was being removed when he was 27 years old. And I represented him, and he kind of took to me. So he'll call me. So at the time he was being removed, he telephoned me from the plane as if I'm kind of the mother, and I was helpless. I couldn't do anything because I could hear the engines running. I couldn't just do a thing. But the fact is that he wanted me to hear him. He wanted me to know what was happening to him. But what struck me is that he preferred to be in prison here, immigration prison, not the criminal prison, in detention. He preferred to be in detention in the UK than be free in Nigeria. And that kind of struck me. So I started the movement Touch Nigeria to explain to people that what they're rushing to come here for might not be really what it is. The life of being in prison, the life of running around and hiding the illegal is not a good life. And living a lie, you might not be telling people back home your truth. So I started that movement to touch Nigeria. I didn't want to relocate to Nigeria. I wanted to be here and touch them. And then it expanded to Touch Love Worldwide, where I want to be here to touch everybody. So I've created Touch Love India, I've created Touch Love DRC, I've created Touch Love Pakistan, Philippines, France. So from here to touch everybody. And the latest thing I've done is to now try to register a political party so that we can give the idea of love energy a political status, because everybody, we go and we do different things. We do all these good things in our small areas, but we don't think that it should be a political movement. And we try to leave love out of politics, when it should really be what politics is all about. So that is how it came to be.
Wow, what a touching story actually about this young Nigerian man that you had to represent. And what is it that love means to you? What is it that moves you in love personally? And what exactly is it that you wish, or why is it that you wish that love is going to be at the seat of politics? How do you see that come about? How do you see that unfold?
Thanks for that question. What I see love as an energy, and I see that every one of us is a shape of. So I say that there is no doubt about that, because if I suddenly collapse here, you will do whatever that is possible to help me to get to a hospital or to get me some kind of treatment, water or something, to make me feel better. And I say that is the love in you. So I try to simplify life into lack of love and full of love. So you have the levels in between. And what I think is that we have not invested enough of our time and energy into exploring that energy called love. We have explored the energy called petroleum. So that's working, and we know how it took us to get that. But the love that we are, which is actually inside of us, which we can find how to expand it. And that is one of the greatest energies, because when you work through love, you are lifted, you're in this euphoric state. And the creation, what you create, people will say is a love piece, it's radiating, and it radiates through centuries. But we haven't actually seen it as energy. Some people see it as something that should be kept in the bedroom, but or outside anywhere else, but business, politics, courts. So I say that when we actually explore the energy called love, we can find how we can use it as our preferred energy. So if our political party comes in power, it will not be us coming in power. It will be love that will be the leader, because that is the emphasis. Love must be the leader, not me, not anyone else. We will have, the first thing is for us all to look deep into ourselves and change. It's not a political party that is pointing fingers and saying this political party has not done this, this has not done. It's actually trying to bring all political parties together to see that every single one of us is trying to do our best. And sometimes our best is not good enough. So when words that hurt, begin to abuse one another, we are forgetting that every single person is trying to do their best. If we are together, we can find what good idea this person has, and we can use that. And then we behave as people on one side, trying to fight what I call lack of love, which is what is actually trying, in my own philosophy, to destroy human beings, because it occupies us, it chooses us different kinds of enticement to try to make us think that we are fighting one another. We are not fighting one another. In every war, for instance, using war as a typical example, people are dying on both sides. So human beings are being destroyed by what I call lack of love, which, it pretends that it's going to give you the land, it pretends it's going to give you money, and then because it's preying on your own interests, you think that it's on your side. But in every war, both sides are losing. No side ever comes out of a war saying that they are winners. They can say they are winners, but they are not winners, because people have died on that side, and the impact goes on over generations to come. So when love is in power, we try and do things that benefits everybody, not just the UK, but the world. So our policies are not just policies that you're recycling, for instance, criminals. You're recycling them because you don't know, you can pack all the criminals back into one area. The tourists from your country will go to that area, and they might be mocked by those criminals. So we are looking at, first of all, looking at the roots of every problem. So when it comes to immigration, we are looking at the root. What is the root of immigration? How do we solve the root? When we come to health issues, we are looking at what is the problem? Why is NHS overburdened? How could we tackle the roots in a way that will not cause intellectual drain? For what happens in one part of the world affects all of the world. At one point or another, it will. So there is no need recycling this. The whole world will come together to do what benefits us all. So in summary, that is what it is. It's like 68-page constitution with all the manifestations. My friend yesterday, Graham, called it a manifestation, which I think is a really lovely word. Rather than a manifesto, it's a manifestation, because it's a manifestation of my thought, it's a manifestation of what I think will help the world, it's a manifestation of the direction I think every single person should try. It's going to be difficult. It's been difficult. It's difficult for me. I have to change. I have to live what I'm saying. And so because it's a party that makes you as an individual change, it's a difficult party, and it's not going to be very popular, because it's not going to be pointing fingers at one person or the other. The question is, what have you yourself done to change? Because having studied a number of things, it's easy to push the blame to someone else. It's easy for me to want to change, for you to change, so I can get the benefit of the change, while I'm still a fanatic in my own thing. I like to continue to eat my peanuts because I love peanuts, and I'm going to be saying that it's so easy for you to change eating meat, for instance. So human beings are very good at kind of forgetting that how difficult it is for me to change my own habits. It's so difficult, but I expect you to change. And we're also very good at looking at the big wars and not the little wars. And when I say the little wars, the one I do, my own little wars with you, the one I cause in the office, we don't want to look at those wars. We look at the big wars, because we can't do anything about the big wars. So that's basically it. As I say, the 68-page manifestation. It's on Facebook and our websites for people to download and read. But it offers solution in most areas that are the main problem for the UK. Of course, it's only a start, and everybody is invited to help to contribute. So people that will see something that is not there, it's not about, oh, you didn't talk about this. Bring your idea, because it is not about me. It's about our world. How do we change it?
It's beautiful, and I've, wow, beautiful, really beautiful. Yeah, you shared the Constitution with me a few days ago, and I passionately read through it, and I was really surprised to see all these different topics because I was very curious about everything that you've mentioned, just because I thought, wow, love in politics, how is that going to happen? You know, especially because we are so used to seeing how politics is being run nowadays. How is love going to find its place in there? And actually, the Constitution, and I really recommend you guys should go and get a copy online, or just message Harriet here on Facebook, because there is a real fountain of ideas in there, and you are so happy to discuss these ideas and to include and to implement different ideas in there. And it's Harriet is a beautiful person. Like, she's so approachable, she talks to you, and she just makes you feel welcome and at ease straight away. And I think that's such a beautiful characteristic to have as a person, especially when you're at the front of such a movement, that is representing not only love as an energy, but there's you very clearly stated that this is going to be a responsible platform for everyone to go in there, have a reflective approach to how it is that they are living their own lives, and how is it that they can impact everybody else on the planet from that space of love. And I think in the younger generations, I mean, I'm in touch with a lot of entrepreneurs out in the world, and I'm very fascinated how there's all these new movements coming about, and obviously a big seat of it is spirituality, and how we can connect more with spirituality on a daily basis, how we can connect with nature, how we can connect with other people, how we can be almost healers on an everyday basis, not just for ourselves, but for everyone that we touch, and for everyone who touches us as well. So there's a community that is building slowly, and yeah, this push is going forward. It feels like there is this new movement in the world that is happening, and yeah, I felt straight away. I felt very compelled by your idea, just because, indeed, that it's something that is still missing up there in politics, even in marketing and in the financial world. It's coming slowly,
Yes.
it's building, it's rising,
Yes.
and I think it's a beautiful place in time to start it now, so that we can get people together to gather, and I know that you are planning to do more gatherings here in London as
Yes.
well, where people can come together and actually discuss all these ideas, and really, really think about, what is this movement actually going to represent? Because at the end of the day, love means something to you, love means something else to me, love will mean something else to you who's listening, to you who are watching. So everyone has a different definition of love, and how is it that we can find ideas that are actually bringing our energy together to uplift each other, rather than to point fingers, as you were saying, or to just block or limit ideas. um, so when I was reading through your constitution, what I was very excited about, and very surprised positively, was your connection with pregnancies. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you see the woman in this society that you would create with this kind of movement? And why is it that pregnancies, like, what is it about the pregnancy that is such a fascinating topic for you?
Well, I've always been fascinated by pregnancy, biological pregnancies, and the philosophy of pregnancy. Um, if you've read my first book, the volume one of Many Lovers, you find that um, there is a lot of passages about pregnancy. Um, First of all, this movement puts the pregnant person in front, in charge, and it has a serious place for children. Because my experience of children, working with children, uh, and having my own child, is that they are incredibly intelligent, absolutely intelligent. And if you listen to a child, you're going to learn a lot. And then the pregnant woman has all her hormones really charged, and she's in touch of a lot of energy. And again, putting her in front of decision making, you're putting a whole generation in front of decision making. So we have a special officer for pregnancy and afterbirth. I'm interested in afterbirth placenta as well. And the reason being that the concept, the touch love philosophy, uh, might not be having much impact in the next few years. So it's something I think will be understood later on. So part of the thought is that when we start from antenatal clinic to let people understand, it is a philosophy, and for some people, because it's so different from what they're used to, it's not easily understood. But if we start from the antenatal clinic, the child in the womb is hearing this philosophy. The mother is engaging with it, hopefully. Then we are looking to the generation that will put this in effect. This generation may, we have a lot of things to unlearn. Our problem is that we've learned so many things that to get to where love will really rule, we have to change our whole concept, change most things that we have learned. So that's why the child is so important in this movement, because they haven't learned as much. They are not as rigid as we have become. They are still flexible. They can understand. They can engage with this. The story, book 19 of volume 1, talks about the 3 C's. They can engage with it, and they can see. And it's about making them think for themselves. Because a lot of the times, our generation, children were not allowed to speak. They didn't have the independence. So it's a party that uses pregnancy in its biological form, but also pregnancy as an idea. So I say that everybody is capable of being pregnant if you're pregnant with an idea. And so it's a party of ideas. It's a philosophy. So so when I use pregnancy, it's actually including everybody that has an idea, a child that has an idea, an adult that has an idea. And we should allow those ideas to come together so that we can think. So philosophically, it's the party of pregnancy, because all of us are bringing our ideas together. But on the other hand, is a party where the child that is still in the womb is going to be leading. I see the child in the womb being the leader of the movement, in the sense that when you think about protecting that child in the womb, when you become a mother, if we all imagine ourselves as responsible pregnant women, whether you're a man or a woman, and you think of yourself as a responsible pregnant woman, you're protecting that child. You're thinking about the child. You're thinking about the future of the child. You want to eat the right thing for that child. You want to go to the right place for that child. You want to listen to the right music for the child. And like you said, you wanted to know a bit of my background. It may well be that my background has something to do with this, because in the town where I was born, it was a very cultural place. And the story that I heard was that in the evening, people will gather playing music, string instruments, sort of in the twilight with all the forest and beauty. That was where my mother was pregnant for me. And these beauties and all these stories and all this lovely, and I can really imagine it now. And then when people are dispersing, some can walk on snakes. The snakes have come to listen to the music. That's the power of that kind of environment. So I grew up being a very cultural person, not seeing what other people see. I just see people, and I see smile, and I see love. That's all I see. So I think that what you feed a child when that child is in your stomach is still a pregnancy, is very important. The music the child hears is very important. The food, the water, the place. I may not have a scientific proof for this, except that I am a scientific proof. because I think the food my mom ate, where she lived, I am different from other people, and I find I'm still doing this, wanting to find out where my different things, where they were born, the kind of influences and things like that. So that's why pregnancy, if we want to change things, we have to start from the antenatal clinic. That is where it starts. The mothers have to engage with this. They have to look at a different way of looking at their child. They have to believe that they are carrying love inside them, that the child that they are carrying is love. And the way you treat that, you treat it. Once you begin to think that what you're carrying is love, your relationship changes. The respect you give the child, even when the child is born, changes. So it's about changing how we approach things. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, magical. I loved what you shared about this cultural place where your mother was when she was pregnant with you. That's wow. Imagine every woman had access to a place like that when she was pregnant. I mean, wouldn't it be beautiful? Really,
well, that's what we're trying to create.
Yeah.
It's part of the thing. So in the website, you see that we're creating the after. I call it the after birth worldwide. And the worldwide happened by mistake. I was going to write worldwide, and then I wrote worldwide. I mean, my, this is amazing. Yes, it's worldwide because it's going to make the world wise. Yeah. When we think of the afterbirth, and you have the story of the afterbirth, some people call it placenta. I call it the afterbirth because of the philosophical connotation of afterbirth. It's not just the organ, the afterbirth, but it's about what happens after birth.
Yeah, leading up to birth.
Exactly, yeah. And all that.
I find that especially that place for a woman, if you just look at it in that way, that place for a woman is such a beautiful place because there's this new life that is being created inside of her. There's all this connection that she's building with the baby all throughout the pregnancy already. So of course, if you make a mother feel completely at ease in her pregnancy, the baby is going to feel that love. Yes. Because I believe that everything we feel creates reactions in our bodies, not just chemical reactions, but also energetic reactions. And so our feelings and our thoughts are very much interlinked with how we feel love and how we feel a lack of love. And so when we are able to connect with those feelings of the high frequency of love, the highest frequency of love, that is of course going to be immerse the baby in those energies as well, and the baby is going to connect with the mother in a completely different way.
I agree.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, tell us a little bit more about your book, because you are publishing your book. You already started putting it out there. So, how did this book come into your life? Like, how did it find you?
Exactly. I wish I know the answer. But I think I've always loved to write, but never thought I'm a writer. It's so easy for me to write. I think all the time. I'm a thinker. It's actually a hobby. I enjoy thinking, and I enjoy thinking things the way other people don't think. It is so boring to think like everyone else. I don't understand why anyone should be thinking, in a uniform way. So this is from childhood. I had to take a position that no one has ever taken before, and no matter how difficult it is, I'm going to stick it out and take that position, because it's entertaining for me. That's the way I entertain myself, by taking these positions and by writing these thoughts that people haven't thought before. So, and I love my writing. I'm not humble in that sense. I kind of cherish. I write it and I lie down and I read it and I enjoy it, and I can't throw a paper away. I say I get evicted by papers because I love the writing. I can't throw things away. So I love my writing, and I see that and I cherish that. But why don't I lose this writings? Why don't you put them together? That is how the writing came about. So the first I published 3 volumes. So that volume 1, and
so it's called Many Lovers.
Many Lovers, book 4267.
Yeah.
A publication of Touch Love Worldwide.
Yeah.
And at the back, it kind of tells you the questions you are asking me. You can just read that.
Okay, I will read it. Yes. I will read out the poem. My many lovers are important to me. Please do not ask me to give up any. I need them all, their sense and all. Some inspire the duty in me. Some stir the deep love within. Some inspire the leisure in me. Some bring out the mischief in me. Some always touch my sense of humor. Some wake up the adventure in me. Some expose the child in me. Some ignite raw passion. Some anger. Some lend me to sleep and dream. Some resurrect the warrior in me. Lover's gate is where we meet. In the dark perceived the sense. I need them all, their sense and all. Please do not ask me to give up any. All are deeply important to me. Meet us all at the lover's gate, where we will all be waiting for you. Beautiful.
So that's my many lovers for you. So again, it's a philosophy book, but I have kind of tried to make it enjoyable. It's kind of easy to read, and I'm told that it's easy to read. And so that's volume 1. That's volume 2. The difference is that all the even numbers are gloss, and all the odd numbers are matte. And there are about over 40 volumes of this book, and only 3 are presently available. And you that differentiated by their color. So that's volume 3, which is in blue. Volume 1 is black. Volume 2 is green.
So they are collections of poetry that you've written, and texts and thoughts. So it's basically it's actually, it's black and white inside, but it's so artistic already. Like the way you look at the book, you can tell that there is lots of different ideas in there. So where can we find this book? How can we find your volume?
It's a designer book, if I use that language that people understand, meaning that you can only get it from me.
Okay.
Hand delivered, kind of hand touched by me. So every copy comes from me. All people want to do it. Anyone that wants it will have to contact me, because it's a personal, it's organic, as my friend describes it. It's kind of very precious to me.
Yeah.
So I though it's on Amazon, you won't really get it from Amazon unless you're reading the PDF. You won't get it. You can only get it from me. Anybody that has it came to me.
Beautiful. Yeah. So that's a brilliant way to get to meet you as well. And
exactly.
To be able to exchange on your book. And
exactly. Because it's kind of more than a book. It's about the conversation, because I run the theater of conversation, and I everybody that knows me know that conversation is very important. So it's not just a book. It's a theater. It's about the discussion. It's about what we exchange when we meet to get the book. Yes. So.
Brilliant. Beautiful. Well, I think that's been a really lovely discussion for today, and I'm sure that we can do more lives maybe in the future. We can obviously set up some events and maybe get together and share more about your beautiful stories. But make sure you check out Harriet Gore and her beautiful Touch Love Worldwide movement. And yeah, make sure you come and see her. She's a lovely, lovely lady.
Thank you so much, Elisabeth. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you so much, everyone watching. Oh, actually, shall we see if there's any questions, maybe? If there's anyone. How do I scroll up?
Okay. There is a comment, but we can't.
Oh yes, if you look at the comment, maybe.
Okay, maybe I can see it. This thing.
Okay, maybe access it.
I can see it from Chimere Madis, and I promised Chimere. When I was singing the song earlier, to invite people to come to the show.
Yeah.
So Chimere said he was about to join, and then I was it's finished. So I promise I'm going to sing again and he can join. So perhaps I should just sing. I don't know that.
Oh yes, please
yes.
sing for us.
And you can join. You can join the song.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we start from just for Chimere. We can't scroll down to see the comments, but if you're there, I'm going to sing again. Okay. The song I sang before. So, touch love. Touch love. Touch, 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 touch love. Touch, touch love. Touch love, touch love, touch love, touch love worldwide. Touch love, touch love, touch love, touch love worldwide. Touch love, touch love, touch love, touch love worldwide. Touch love, touch love, touch love, touch love worldwide. Okay, I'll sing it slowly so that Elizabeth can say one thing while I'm singing. So
it's touch love.
Touch love worldwide. That's what it's saying. I just repeating it. So, touch love. Touch love. Touch love. Touch love. Touch love, touch love, touch love, touch love worldwide. Touch love, touch love, touch love, touch love worldwide. Touch love, touch love, touch love, touch love worldwide. Touch love, touch love, touch love, touch love worldwide. Oh, touch love. Touch love. Touch, 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 touch love. Touch, touch love. Touch love, touch love, touch love, touch love worldwide. Touch love, touch love, touch love, touch love worldwide. Touch love, touch love, touch love, touch love worldwide. Touch love, touch love, touch love, touch love worldwide. Elisabeth touch love. Chrissy Mural touch love. Chimere Madis touch love. Chica Vincent love. Touch. Everybody touch love. Harriet touch love. Royal Salary touch love. Everybody touch. Touch love, touch love, touch love, touch love worldwide. Touch love, touch love, touch love, touch love worldwide. Touch love, touch love, touch love, touch love worldwide. Touch love, touch love, touch love, touch love worldwide.
Oh, thank you so much, Harriet. That was such a lovely way. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And yeah, if you have any questions, just post them down below, and Harriet will respond to you.
Okay,
Lots
bye
of love,
bye.
everyone.
Love to you always. Love to all always.